This place is great. So quiet and serene, like nothing could ever threaten the peace. I admire what you've accomplished here, traveler. I hope Natlan enjoys a similar tranquility one day. Oh, sure. I took some time to walk around this place and came up with a few suggestions. Maybe you'll get some inspiration. From the look on your face, you were hoping for a more casual conversation. That's very valid. My apologies, I can never seem to stop working. Let me guess. They also have high standards for themselves and their surroundings. Of course, not everyone's like that, and I respect other people's choices. So I try to operate without imposing my habits on anyone else. We're all human, which means we're often at the mercy of our emotions. When we get tired or annoyed, we lose focus, and it's hard to be efficient. No matter how urgent or important in that situation, it's better to put the work aside and get some rest. You're not wrong. I used to think some people were just built that way, so conscientious by nature that they just can't tear themselves away from their work. But eventually, I realized it's not a character trait at all, but a reaction that stems from prolonged periods of anxiety and stress. There are many possible factors: lack of recognition, family issues, disrupted sleep, lack of exercise. I try to ensure that we have enough manpower at our disposal so everyone can afford to take breaks. The shamans from the Masters of the Nightwind can also help relieve stress. Thankfully, I'm quite the workaholic, so even if a lot of people go on break at once, it's all the same to me. Well, that depends on the context. I don't view it as some kind of inherent evil. It's a choice. All I need to know is whether someone is driven by the same vision. Of course, actions speak louder than words in that regard. I can talk with them, offer suggestions, and guide their next steps. There will always be things I don't understand, but as the Pyro Archon, I can still help people find the right path forward. But first and foremost, they have to be willing. And that is not a decision I can make for them. I wouldn't go that far. I just don't want everyone to turn into a workaholic like me. After all, that lifestyle's not for everyone. Plus, it leads to a more relaxed atmosphere, which is better for everyone, don't you think? This place. I hope Natlan and... Oh, sure. Let me guess. Of course, we're all human, no matter how urgent or important. But eventually, there are many I try to ensure. Thankfully, I'm quite the Well, that's all I need to know. I can talk with them, offer suggestions, and guide their next steps. But first and foremost, they have to be willing. And that is not a decision I can make for them. Well, we're talking about principles. In a vacuum, I'm sure it sounds vague and impractical. But in practice, there are a variety of factors I consider. Still, I won't refute your assessment. I consider myself an idealist after all. In my experience, surrounding yourself with people who share a common ideal can be a very powerful thing. This place is I hope Natlan. Well, since you asked, I have an idea for a Flamestrider Grand Prix. I've been thinking about it ever since I arrived. It would be a shame not to take advantage of all this space and the amazing scenery. So, this is what I was thinking. We create a racetrack that combines speed and technique and invite challengers to compete. The winner can be crowned the Master of the Striding Flame. If the tournament is a success, it would bring in a significant profit, in which case you wouldn't need to worry about future prizes, and you could even expand the scale. Oh, don't worry. I already asked Shalonen about that, although she categorically refused. I understand her reasoning, of course. I would need at least 8 Flamestriders, which would cost a small fortune, and I have no idea where we would find enough secret source components. Still, having a vision is better than nothing. Besides, I have a backup plan that only involves one rider. Instead of having everyone ride a flame strider at once, everyone will take turns with mine, and the person with the fastest time wins. Of course, Shilonen rejected this proposal as well. The reason being the flame strider was originally designed for battle and travel rather than speed. Several modifications would need to be made to operate at high speeds, which means faster wear and tear and more maintenance. In short, we cannot sacrifice the core function of the flame strider for our own entertainment. True. But that also means we could just design a new flame strider built entirely for speed. I'll make a quick sketch and show it to Shilonen right away. I hope not. Well, since you asked, So, this is what I was thinking. If the tournament is a success, it would bring in a Oh, don't worry. I already asked Shilonen about that. I understand. Still, of course, several In short, we cannot sacrifice the core. But that also, I'll make a quick sketch.